and welcome back. So as you know, we are reading the book Wholes in Class by Louis Sachar, and we will also be using parts of wholes, different paragraphs and sentences, to reinforce our ideas on grammar. So without further ado, let's continue. So today we will be looking at parts of grammar. Now the parts of grammar we will be looking at will be nouns, pronouns, action verbs, and linking verbs. Now real quick, a definition for each of these are nouns, a word or word group that is used to name a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. A pronoun is a word that is used in place of one or more nouns. An action verb, they express something that a person, animal, or object can do, notice can do, bold print, very important. And linking verbs are verbs that describe or rename the subject in a sentence. These verbs do not express an action, but connect the subject and the verb to more information. At this point, you will need to have a piece of paper and a writing tool to continue with the next activities. You may pause the video now to get those items, and when you're ready, you can press play. Also, you may write down these definitions if it'll help you as we go on through the activities, so you don't have to jump back. But if you don't want to, you can always skip back to around 1 minute and 50-second mark where all the definitions will be on display. Now jumping right into our nouns. Nouns, you will need to read the following paragraph and write down all of the nouns. You will write down the proper nouns and the plural nouns. As a reminder, you will need to turn in this paper to me at the beginning of class tomorrow. And I will give you a hint. There are 10 possible nouns in this paragraph. So go ahead and pause the video now to work on it. And when you're ready to move forward, come back and press play. Now pronouns. Pronouns take the place of nouns that can be found in different sentences. I have placed a little chart here so you can look back and use an aid when looking for the pronouns. You will need to answer the 5 questions below the chart. So again, go ahead and pause the video and make sure you answer these 5 questions. And when you're ready to move forward, press play. Now, action verbs. Action verbs are verbs that express physical or mental action. Now, what does this mean? This just means they express something a person, animal, or even object, again, can do. So to determine if a word is an action verb, ask yourself if a word is describing something someone can do, or something someone can be, or something someone can feel. If it is something they can do, it is an action verb. But if they feel or can be something, it's just a verb. So here we're just looking at something they can do. So an example here, Anthony is throwing the football. Now, what is Anthony doing? He is throwing. So therefore, throwing will be our action verb. The dog ran across the yard. Now, what is the dog doing? He is running across the yard. So ran here would be our action verb. Now here we have, I will learn to play the guitar this year. Here we have 2 action verbs. So I will learn the guitar and I will play the guitar. So here we have learn and play. So just be aware you can have 2 action verbs in a sentence. Now here's another example of 2. We ate dinner and walked around the park. So again, what did we do? We ate dinner and then we walked around the park. Oops. Nope, that was right. Okay, so here's your exercise for action verbs. Now, if there's something you are confused about, just make a note and go ahead and ask me in class tomorrow because we will be going over all of these examples in class. And you want to have questions because this is something that will be on an upcoming test. Now, linking verbs. Linking verbs do not show action. They link information to help the reader understand. So, for example, we have the sky looked gray, and we have Joey is a comedian. Now, if we take the sky looked and gray, now what are they? If we go ahead, the sky would be our subject. The sky is what? Gray. And what about the sky? It looked. So the sky looked gray. Now for Joey is a comedian, we have Joey, comedian. Joey is our subject. Is would be our linking verb, and a comedian would be subject information. So is just letting us know what Joey is. Looked is letting us know what the sky color is for the day. Now, linking verbs just pretty much say that someone or something is, was, or will be. And the usual placement of these linking verbs will be after the subject. So for this exercise on linking verbs, you will need to read the following sentences and write down the linking verb in each sentence. Now, as we were shown examples that had more than one linking verb, just go ahead and be aware that some of these sentences do have two linking verbs in them. So for this, you're going to want to go ahead and pause the video and work through the answers. But if there's anything you're confused about or need extra help in, just go ahead and make a note of it and be sure to ask me in class because again, we will be tested on this later on in the year or in the week. Now, you want to go ahead, pause the video, make sure you have enough time to work on these, or if there's something you want to go back to and jump to the other sections or practices, then you can go ahead and do that. But this is the end of the video. We will be going over the answers in class tomorrow. So make sure to do the activities and bring any questions you have to class, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.